Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. Today I would like to share with you a one-sheet wonder using the Ranunculus Romance set. I have done it in 3 different colorways here. You do get 4, when you do your one-sheet wonder, you do actually get 4 cards out of it. But this is with the old olive background. This is with the, Blushing Bride background, and this is with the smoky slate background, so you can see the difference in color. I really quite like the smoky slate on the back of this one. I've used some of the smoky slate textured ribbon. It's almost like a grosgrain ribbon, and then the die that I used for the greeting is actually from the Meadow dies from the Quiet Meadow set. And the Quiet Meadow set would lend itself to doing this very nicely as well. And you could even combine the sets if you wanted to. But I wanted to show you how I did the flower on here. Because it is one stamp, it's a single stamp. But I wanted it to be the 2 colors on there. So I'll show you how I did that. And this one, when I did the one sheet wonder, I had it this way and I was stamping this way. So most of my ranunculus flowers ended up being this way. That's why I've done these as landscape cards as opposed to portrait cards. And this one I wanted to be a portrait card. So I just turned my page around and made sure that all my flowers were kind of standing up. Now I've already stamped most of this. This stamp here I did in crumb cake. The postmark I did in smoky slate. This kind of fern flower I did in soft seafoam. And then just to kind of antique it a little bit, I used the blending brush on the with Sahara Sand. And this is the Very Vanilla paper. So I will show you how I did the flower. And it's super, super easy. It's super, super simple. I'm just gonna move everything out of the way and move this up like this so that it's actually in frame and you can see it. So I opened up my Blushing Bride and I open up my Old Olive, and let's just do this. And I only want the flowers to be in the Blushing Bride and the rest to be in Old Olive. So I just kind of put my stamp along the edge of the ink pad and just ink up the flowers, and you can see whether you've got ink on them or not. And then I used a sponge dauber and I came in with the Old Olive and inked up the stem and the leaves. And what this does is it gives you that 2-tone effect. And I went right up into the flowers as well, and that's why you can see some of the flowers or some of the flowers have a little bit of the green on them as well. And then you just stamp it down. And there you get your 2-tone flower. So that's how you do that. And I would recommend, especially because with the greenery, it's that little bit darker, I would really recommend cleaning your stamp between each time you do this so that you don't end up transferring some Old Olive into the edge of your Blushing Bride. So it's super fun, and you can do this with any stamp that you want 2-tone color on, for sure. So what I need to do now is I need to cut this up into 5 1/4 by 4 pieces. So I want my 4s to be this way, and I seem to have stamped kind of over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move that out of the way so I don't get ink on here, is I'm going to do my 5 1/4 this way first. So I'll do 5 1/4 here, and then I can decide where, because I have to trim this again, and I think I might actually trim it here on the bottom. So there we go. I've got 2 pieces, 5 1/4 by 4. If you wanted to keep this to do a trim on the inside of the card, that would be fabulous as well. And then I need to cut these down to 4. So again, you need to determine, I'll do it up here so you can see, where your flower will be more centered. And see, in this case, it's more centered like that. And this one, I think I'm going to cut it here like this. And if when you cut it, you think it's a little bit plain in one area, you can always come back in and add another stamp. So this one I'm going to do this way by 4. And then this one I'm going to do this way by 4. So there, I've got 4 card fronts that I can use. And I like the smoky slate one, so I'm just going to grab my smoky slate and I am going to just check to see which way it wants to go. So you can see it wants to go this way as opposed to this way. So I'm going to fold it the way it wants to go. And you can score it as well, or you can just fold it and then press it down and then use your bone folder to just give it a push like that. Okay, and I am going to mount this one. I think I'm going to use this one here, and I am going to just flat mount it onto the smoky slate background. Again, I'll pull the other ones in so you can see what the colorways are. This would make a really pretty wedding card or engagement card, something like that. And instead of just for you, you could put to both of you, or, you know, some kind of greeting that has love in the title. Now I need a piece of the grosgrain ribbon to go along the bottom. Let's grab my scissors here, and I'm just going to trim that off. And I'm going to use my adhesive and put it down. And I'm going to find a spot here. There's a spot here that's kind of a little bit empty, so I'm just going to pop that in like that. And then I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of my greeting. And I stamped this one in smoky slate because I knew I was going to do a smoky slate background. And it is from the greeting, or from the Ranunculus Romance set. So all the stamps are from the one set. It's just the die that's from the Quiet Meadow set, from the Meadow dies. And then I'm just going to plunk this down like this. And there we go. You've got a really pretty just for you card using the Ranunculus Romance set. So thank you so much for watching, and let's create together again soon.